Welcome back, everyone, and I do mean everyone. So this is going to be my episode six, Rings of Power episodes, season 2, episode 6 spoiler review. Okay, let me say that these two episodes. Now, I'm not a big fan of the show, but these two episodes are showing a little promise. Not much, but there's a little light at the end of the tunnel. Um, so obviously we know we're setting up for the siege with the orcs, and we're gonna get into that. But so we got my boy Aaron Deer, South Side of Chicago. He's going on, his normal jog through the woods. He does this occasionally, to keep his elf strength up, his agility, which is really good. And just daily jog, and then he hears a bunch of orcs, and being the skilled swordsman and skilled elf that he is, pieces them out like real easy. And he finds a little map and kind of some instructions, which is, we all know what's going to happen. He's going to team up for the siege. So he got that. He's going to get his little gang together and probably meet up with Elrond, must I say, Elrond is definitely missed in this episode. Why Elrond should be in every episode? He's the only one that makes sense. Okay, and then Celebrimbor, you're starting to see that his mind is confused. Sauron is putting it on him. His mind is confused. He's starting to forget his smiths. He forgets the one girl's name that's been with him for like ever, and he knows it's slipping. And then the temptation, and and he's really losing. He's really losing his mind a lot. And then Sauron swoops in just in case, to make sure he stays in that status. And he sweet talks everybody, and I'll go talk to him. So they have their little talk. And then Sauron yet again finds a way to manipulates Celebrimbor again, and says, "Hey, you just stay in here. You're stressed. So he gives him that talk like, you're stressed. You need to relax, but I need you to make the rings at the same time and not be relaxed. But I want you to be relaxed while you're doing it. So I'll take care of everything for you." So Celebrimbor makes basically like his hand, and like, all right, everything goes through you. I gotta sit in here, figure myself out. Need to relax. He's like, yep, got him. Yeah. And then first thing he does when he goes out there, he talks to people and like, yeah, we're gonna do this. Everything's cool. We're gonna figure it out. But Celebrimbor, which he didn't say, Sauron says, "Oh yeah, well, so yeah, don't need the smiths. You guys can find something else to do. I don't know. This is a nice place. So yeah." And then he keeps putting the moves on old what is it, Merdania? Oh, he got her in the bag, bro. He got her. She is simping for him. Yeah, he got her in the bag. So then we get this part where a body comes up, and the elvish body comes up, and it has an inscription on it, and it says, "Where is he?" And then Sauron immediately was like, "Oh yeah, bury it, bury the body. It's whatever. I don't want anybody to get too worked up." And he's like, "Oh," you could see it on Sauron's face. He's like, "Oh no, am I supposed to be scared? Uh-oh." He's so good. Sauron is so good. Like everything he plays. The I would say the actor is actually doing it very well, because everybody's stupid in this world, and he's the brains of everything. And he's like, let me see how far I can just manipulate people just to manipulate people. I don't even have to do this part. So he's like, yeah, bury the body. So they do the body, the bury the body, and then we have the dinner sequence, which it seems like the orcs have very a nice platter set out. They got some catering. I like that. It was pretty nice. So he's talking to Galadriel, and Galadriel is saying all this stuff, and he's like, dude, just be honest. Is Hillebrand Sauron? And is Sauron Hillebrand? She's like, freaking Galadriel. She's the worst, dude. She's like, yes, he is. And he's like, oh, okay. See, I knew that. I just wanted to hear you say that. Because yes, you've messed up our side of the world too. How is it that you keep messing up everybody's shit? Okay. And then we have he's trying to team up. He's like, yo, we can do this. We can do this. And she's like, oh, why would I work with you, you orc? And he's like, orc. Oric. If I'm showing you respect, show me some respect. Because last time I checked, I can leave you chained up in here and have all these orcs just run in and that's it. No more Galadriel. Maybe you should really do that. Because we get her out of the equation. That means Elrond could actually take over and really make some sense. But anyway, so he brings out the crown and and he's like the rings with the you can still use the rings and we can use the crown and we can beat him forever. She's tempted, but then she's like, I'm Galadriel. I do what I want. So anyway, and then he said he knows that she knows that Hillebrand or Sauron wants to attack the city for a reason, but she just doesn't get it out, which is weird. And then we get the trial of Elendil, and it almost had that Ned Stark moment when it's like, you know. And then we get the Jon Snow, she's my queen. She's my queen moment, which was okay, but it just shows the loyalty of Elendil. And he said, yeah, I renounce all the things I did. My bad, you know. All is fair in love and war, but I am not renouncing her because that is my boo. So obvious he loves her. So obvious. So yeah. And then so we get that, and then we go back. We get to see him with Bombadil and not Gandalf. Maybe Gandalf. One day will be Gandalf. Can you please call him Gandalf? Why can't anyone tell this guy his name is Gandalf? See, there's a lot of bonehead stuff that ruins the episodes in this show. Just tell the man. Stop speaking in damn riddles. And last time I checked, yeah. And Bombadil, if you've been there, you're the elder. You've been there before time, but probably before Morgoth. Nobody really knows much about you. I mean, in the books, people say, but it's very vague. Can't you stop this? Why can't you help us fully? That's the one problem I have. I like the actor that's playing Bombadil. I like how he's being, but he talks in a lot of riddles. I understand why he's talking in riddles because he wants the person to figure it out for themselves. He just gives them that little push. But hey, man, we need your staff, Bombadil. We need your staff because you know all about these people. You were there before all of them. Little help, please. So, and then we get Poppy and old Merrimack. They get the little Hardfoots and the stewards are doing their thing. They're having they don't want to leave because that's their home. And she was like, we don't live here. It's our home. And I understand that part with the stewards. She's like, we can't do that. And even Nori is like, maybe they do this. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. And then, okay. So we got the Harfoots, and then this was a quick scene that didn't need to be in there. I don't know, but then we go back to Bombadil and Gandalf, and notice I'm not saying any Elrond in this episode. Why isn't Elrond in it? He's going to have a big part in the second. Well, I'll get to that. But Bombadil goes to Gandalf, and he's like, "All right, it's your time," or non-Gandalf, or maybe Gandalf will be Gandalf. Goes and he's like, it's time to pick your staff. We have to fight Sauron. Are you really going to help them, Bombadil, or are you just going to tell them some stuff to go and not do anything? But so you get to that part, and then he's like, yeah, pick your staff. And he's like, wait. I don't have enough time to do that. He takes them to this like real desolate part of that area. And there has to be like 20,000 trees. And he's like, oh, pick a staff. It'll find you. One of these will. And even non-Gandalf, fake Gandalf is like, this could take a while, and I don't have that much time. I have to get back to my friend Poppy, or Nori and Poppy. They're my friends. And he's like, well, you choose destiny, or you choose your friends. It's up to you. And my man does a Houdini and gone. Gandalf's just sitting there. So we don't know. Non-Gandalf, maybe Gandalf. Yeah. And then now we get back to the Khazad-dûm. I love Khazad-dûm. So Doran, when we get here, we get a scene where Doran the Younger is walking up, and then he's like, "Why have I been summoned here? What are we doing? You know, there's pressing matters." You know, to his dad, he's like, "What? You summoned me?" And he's like, "No, I didn't summon you. He did." And good old Sauron is there trying to get some mithril. You know, because he's so slick. He gets there super fast. By the way, too. I don't know if he used a griffin or whatever, but he got there super fast. Just pimped out in his whole attire, looking straight, elegant. Sauron, dog. Who does your fits? Why is it shouldn't they realize that too? Like, why is this guy dressed better than everybody else? Where is this guy getting all this stuff from? But pimped out in his Gucci fit, you know? So, and then we have a part where he's like, yeah, he's talking, and then Doran the Elder actually surprised me. He said no, and it actually caught me for a second. I was like, oh snap, is he coming around? No, he's not, unfortunately. Yeah, so he's just using it as a bargain chip. So he says no, and there's a scene in there where actually Sauron sees the Balrog, and he just looks like, it's gonna happen regardless. You might as well get something that may be able to stop it. Gotcha, coach. So, and then there's a scene where Doran the Elder and Doran, I love Khazad-dûm. I love the dwarfs. The dwarfs are the best in the show, besides Elrond and Sauron. But they're talking, and he's like, "Take off your ring, Dad. That's your son. Take off. If it's not controlling you, just take off the ring." And he's like, "No." And then Doran grabs him, and then he just bashes him. Like, damn, with that ring has definitely increased his strength in his older age as a dwarf. So right there, it's like Doran like new. So then we have Dees and Doran being the best couple ever. They're very understanding of each other. She's talking about his father, like, hey, we not dethrone him, but we can't let him do this. And if it happens where he's dethroned, at least we get your father back. And he's like, how could you talk about my father like that? And she was like, don't check me. I love him just as much as you love him. And he's treated me way better than my parents ever did. So she's like, yeah, we both in this. So I'm going through it just like you. So we got the team up there. And then Elendil and his hateful daughter, finally she's stepping up, and she's like, well, I found a way. I got your boo. It's kind of like she's using her as a point. Like, I still love my dad. I don't want him to die by the sea worm because they're going to execute him. And freaking, what's his name? Lebowski. King Lebowski does not like him at all. It's the only thing I do. And then I'll give it to Elendil. He's like, dude, I'm still going to die for you. Like, you can come in here and tell me not to sacrifice myself for you, but I believe he loves her. And there's that point, can they just get together, the two of them? And she fine, Elendil. That's a nice little catch. That's a trophy wife there, because you're a little bit older than her, so I'd do it. But and then we get the part where they're going to block the mines, Disa. And this moment is funny because she's like singing and everything, and she goes straight gangster on him and just calls like these bats. Kind of clears them out, so buys time, and they both know that they're going to have to protect all these dig sites, which I don't know how two of them are going to do, but they have a plan, I guess. And then we got and then we get to the part with the Númenóreans where they're going to execute Elendil by the sea worm, which is basically a kraken in their world, and cast into the ocean. And hey, if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. Usually, 99% of the time, people don't make it. This thing's gonna eat you. So, but nope. The Queen Regent, his boo, just get together, people, comes out and she says, no. By law, I'm the one that told him to do it. I should be down. And you know, he's doing the whole spiel like, no, 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 don't do this, don't do this. She's like, well, how you want me to lead if I don't lead from the front? And he's like, yeah, I'm in charge of like legions, or used to be in charge of legion. I know how this stuff works. Yeah, yeah, you gotta lead from. Yeah, you right, you right, you right. I don't agree with it, but shit, I would do the same thing. I'm kind of doing the same thing right now, so I can't fault you for doing it. So I did like that by Elendil when his face, he was like, that's what I would do. I can't tell you not to do it, and I would do it. I gotcha. And then, so she gets thrown in, and we get to see that was very good special effects. I'll give them that. The special effects are top notch in it. Still not the greatest show, but the special effects are top notch. So she's down there, and you get the whole scene where she's just floating, and the hair is just moving. Man, she is gorgeous. That actress is gorgeous. She was in Spartacus too. I knew her from somewhere. But and then all of a sudden she becomes an aqua woman, gets spit out. They're like, oh, queen of the sea, queen regent. So I don't know if she's fully taking over Númenor again, or if she's like a side faction, like she runs the sea now, and they'll slowly work where, I mean, obviously Elendil is going to get all the power, but yeah. And then Lebowski goes back to the snow globe, getting tempted by Sauron. Sauron got stuff everywhere, bro. This guy is so good. And then whatever, King Lebowski. And then Adar and Galadriel think you're going to get the team up. They're like, whatever. And her dumb ass yet again. Why does she ruin everything in this show? Tells him the whole plan. All right, I know you got a plan, right? You're trying to manipulate him, but you don't tell him the whole plan. She says, oh, yeah. She tells him the location of it. Well, Elrond's over. Putting your boy out there again. Elrond, can you piece this chick out, dog? Just, the pillow. Maybe. Because she is nothing but a hazard to you. So she tells the whole plan to Adar. And Adar's like, oh, okay. Good. And what about the Orc? After we help you fight Sauron. If we do. What about him? She's like, well, we, I didn't get to that point, did I? He's like, yeah, okay, whatever, bullshit. Thank you for telling me all the plan, though. This was too easy. Like, wow, it only took like a day. Whew. But anyway, lock her up. Thank you for telling me everything. Lock you up. I played you just like you were trying to play me. If you would have just came out before and told me, I would have respected you more when I had you free, but then I had to lock you up. So Adar, I got you on that. But she's like, yo, I think he wants, when they're carrying away, I think he wants this to happen. He wants this to happen. And Adar's like, he ruined my life. He's got so much hate for Sauron. So he's clouded by that too. And then, well, she gave out like literally a whole plan. She might as well put GPS on him. I don't know, but like, yo, they're at this coordinate here. They'll be moving there. She might as well just, I don't know. Wow. And then there was that part when you can tell, like, that one orc, he is definitely important. The one orc that had the baby and the family, that was so weird. But he kind of hesitates to give him the horn because he's like, do you think I only brought this one legion crazy? I brought all the orcs, and he's hesitant and he looking like, I think he gonna turn. That may be the dude. That may be the orc that takes out Adar. But he obviously has something because he's really hesitant all of a sudden. He's like, this is bad business. Something's wrong with this. It's funny how that one orc is smarter than the whole Elven kingdom besides Elrond. But yeah, and then we get the whole thing with so obviously they're going to do the siege, so they're moving by night because the orcs are sensitive to light. Orcs are sensitive to light. And then we get the whole thing with so it's happening. They're going to get there super fast as well. Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of turbo buttons in here. They must have really fast roadways and highways in Middle Earth. But Celebrimbor is like, yo, something wrong, man. Something's wrong. So he's hearing some stuff and he's going to walk out. And then Sauron walks in. He's like, no, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. He's like, it sounds like a siege alarm. What are you doing? And then he's like, no, it's cool. I need you to stay here. I need you to stay here. And I did like this part. Celebrimbor pushed the shit out of Sauron. Like that, he had his full elven strength on that. And he's like, no, I'm going. And he walks out that door. He's like, something's up. Walks out the door, and Sauron is so. Can we say that this dude is so friggin' powerful? It's ridiculous. He puts Celebrimbor in this dream sequence, and it's a dream sequence and illusions and just tricks him. And then he just like, okay. And he gives him this nice new shiny hammer, the nice shiny toy. He's like, just stay in there. Everything's fine. And he sees that everything's fine throughout. What is the name of the Aragon? Yeah. Aragon. Look, everybody's happy running around. They didn't even look that happy when he first got there. Like when they were supposed to be happy. That was like something like, wait a second, they're a little too happy. These guys flying around blowing bubbles and stuff. And got a little parachute, man. This seems a little off. Why is everybody in the square right here super happy? Where are my guards? Did you notice any guards in that scene? Like standing anywhere? I can't remember. I only saw children running around, you know? So that was weird that he didn't catch on to that. But he's like, go back. So he goes back inside. Hey, this is that one point when you go back inside, and if you're still skeptical, be like, let me check one more time. Let me wait 5 minutes and open this door. Because as soon as he went in, Sauron was like, nope, we're going to war. And unclicked all that magic. So he's seen the siege and he's welcoming it. He's like, yes, let's go. Let's go. Chaos. Chaos is a ladder. And so we see them start loading the trebuchets and everything, and they do the first launches. So you don't see the siege. They're building up to the siege. I think the siege is going to be dope. That's one thing Lord of the Rings of Power, what they're trying to do. I know they can bring back the essence of Lord of the Rings. Just give us a good battle. Just give us a good couple battles. And you'll leave some people like, it wasn't that bad of a show. I mean, the battle scenes are great. But I see that you're improving. I'll give you that. But that's all I got. It was one of the better episodes. It's still not a good show to me. You need to do more than this. You need to do more than this. But Sauron is just all power, and hopefully we'll see the Elrond. And no, unfortunately, Galadriel has to be there. But maybe we'll meet up with Arendir too. And obviously, you're going to probably get some Númenorians hopping in there when they hear about this, since they seem to be getting reunited. I don't know. But anyway, tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I want everyone to subscribe. And I do mean everyone.